Hey, Syna So Pro here at the Missouri Botanical Garden for the Garden Glow for the next episode of Symphonic Wanderlust, a Syna So Pro experience. Check it out! Hey Wanderlusters, thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Symphonic Wanderlust, a Syna So Pro experience where we, Sabrina Conaway and Syna So Pro, yes, we're the same person, travel to different locations, spots, scenes, or attractions to write music based off the experience. In this episode, we are looking at our time at the Missouri Botanical Gardens Garden Glow. Let's get into it. Okay, like we just said, we went to the Missouri Botanical Gardens located in St. Louis, Missouri for their Garden Glow, where there are 2 million dazzling lights, fun experiences, and traditional favorites all throughout a section of the Missouri Botanical Gardens. Again, this year, when we went, there was no snow on the ground. We would really love to experience some of these holiday light festivities with actual snow. Yeah, so that the light reflection plays a part against the snow. We just feel like it would be way more luminous and bright, like an illusion of brightness with that reflection of these colors against the white ground of the snow. But it was cold. There just wasn't any snow. Unfortunately, the Garden Glow actually closes on January 7th, which depending on what time you are seeing this is either tomorrow or today. So actually the Garden Glow at the Missouri Botanical Gardens is the top 5 holiday light shows that you can see in the state of Missouri. So definitely come through if you're in the St. Louis area. Okay, so yeah, definitely want to consider the weather. It's outside, you are walking, so wear comfortable shoes. Make sure you're bundled up, keep those hands, those fingers warm. They do sell food and drink throughout the garden. When you're purchasing the tickets, you can actually go ahead and buy the food at the Cafe Flora, because we did not do the food. We got drinks at the little kiosks along the way. We got some apple cider that definitely kept our hands nice and warm. But well, we are just not sure. Honestly, if you want food, you should probably go ahead and get it with the tickets just to be safe. Just to be safe. So what we actually saw was just, of course, a bunch of beautiful holiday lights, different themes, different types. The big old fat lights, little thin lights, red, green, and white, and blue and gold, and even this lovely little fluorescent type of purplish, pinkish, and greenish, bluish. Honestly, it feels very Syna So Pro, you know what I'm saying? But that's okay. These are my colors. Syna So Pro represent. Just kidding. It was for us. It was really fun to know. No, it wasn't. There was really some really cool moments throughout the Garden Glow, especially whenever you're kind of getting close to the Whitaker Theater, past the Climatron, there's a bunch of bulbs kind of in the ground. It felt very Tesla-esque.
Mr. Tesla doesn't want to scare anyone.
And they had this music playing, and for a second we were like, ooh, the lights are syncing with the music. And then we realized, oh wait, no it's not. But that's okay. It didn't ruin the experience. We actually had a lot of fun. Went with a couple of friends, and it was just like a fun time to catch up and do something together and experience something beautiful together. The lights on the trees and the buildings throughout were, they're beautiful. There were projections going on the Tower Grove house, which I think was the Shaw or Henry Shaw's home at one time. So we actually did tour that house because one of our friends designed a room in that house our memory. We'll put it up here, what it actually is. So yeah, the Shaw house, it's history, preservation. So definitely the style is very old-fashioned. It kind of just reminds you of a grandmother, a typical, maybe not typical, but typical for certain folks' grandmothers aesthetic. It's very, very old-fashioned. There were certain parts where we couldn't actually walk throughout the whole entire room. It's kind of glassed off to where we're preserving the history that's within the home. Well, we don't know. It was, you know, it was interesting walking through the house. You know, we wonder sometimes with progress, you know, if when people at the time period, like 100, 200 years ago, were doing these great things for the community, and of course the community would not include a person like us, if they ever had the foresight to think that a person of color would be at leisure walking through what was once your home that is still preserved to be your home. Like, no, we don't think they were thinking like that at all. So it was just kind of an interesting moment of like, yeah, maybe some of my ancestors were your slaves, man. I'm walking through your house. So there was a lot of things to see, but it's easily something that you can easily get through in a reasonable amount of time. We deliberately kind of had a reservation earlier in the evening as the sun was setting so that we can kind of get through before the big fluctuation of people come through. The walkway is kind of designed to be in a circle. There's a little part where you might have to double back if you actually do go into the Tower Grove home. But for the most part, it's kind of like a one or done. There's signs all throughout telling you what direction to go. Signs all throughout telling you, hey, if you go this way, it'll be, you know, cafe or food, or continue on with the garden glow. If you go this way, it will be fire pits and s'mores. We think you could probably get through the whole thing in about an hour. You know, you probably could take longer than an hour if you like, but you know, depending on how cold it is and the weather, you may not want to, you know, be out there walking around for too terribly long. Even, okay, but pause. Forgot to mention this. The new visitor center, the new Jack C. Taylor Visitor Center where you walk in, the new entranceway, is just so gorgeous. I mean, no shade to the old way you would enter, pre-construction. That was still equally as beautiful, but yo, like you might spend time just up in there taking some selfies and photos with your families and friends because it's gorgeous. It's just gorgeous. It's like, and there's a little cafe off to the side and accessible bathrooms. So Garden Glow is not free. There are tickets. So let's take a look at it here. So if you are a member and an adult, it's $17. If you're a member and you're a child, it's $8. If you're a festival member, it is free, y'all. But if you're just a general person of the public, if you're an adult, $22. If you're a child, $10. Now they do have group pricing, so check out their website for more of those group pricings. And as we said, if you would like to eat while you go, you should probably go ahead and get it with your actual tickets, because we're not sure if they would serve or seat you if you did not make, maybe it's like a reservation type of situation. So you can also even rent your own fire pit for an hour with up to 25 people. You gotta like make that reservation 3 days in advance, but it's like $250 and it's limited availability. But the fire pits that we saw were right next to the beautiful, the fountain lake. It's not really a fountain, it's just like the lake. And that's where most of the music was blasting. It was really beautiful. There was always some sort of holiday music you can hear throughout the entire walk of Garden Glow. Just fun little upbeat songs, just getting you in that holiday spirit. So the parking, honestly, we were kind of impressed. Well, not really impressed. They were really taking control of the parking situation. They were definitely like making sure that keeping tabs of how many parking spaces they had, and then whenever they ran out, I believe they kind of directed you to the general street parking. But the parking is just at the Missouri Botanical Gardens. It is free. Accessible parking is available on both lots of the garden's main entrance, as well as the garden's overflow lots 1 block west of the garden at the intersection of Shaw and Vandeventer Boulevard. Manual wheelchairs, motorized scooters, and strollers are available on first come, first served basis at the Jack C. Taylor Visitor Center. Because you had to get your tickets online and you had to reserve a certain time slot, it really wasn't like a long waiting time period for us to walk through. But we will say, because we rented an early time slot, like 5 o'clock or 4:45, I forgot which one it was. There wasn't, I mean, it was people. There were a lot of people, but it wasn't like crowded. By the time we were leaving at like 6:45, 7, it seemed like a little bit of bottlenecking. Honestly, we can't tell if that was bottlenecking due to them trying to scan the tickets or just people just enjoying the visitor center because it's so gorgeous and beautiful, and just people just hanging out. They're like, oh, hey, blah, blah, catching up, you know. So y'all, what we wanted to do with the music was just kind of create like a chill holiday track, similar to like, think of Peanuts. You know, just very iconic, but also just chill and relaxing. So that's what we wanted to do with the music. Have any of y'all gone to Garden Glow at the Missouri Botanical Gardens? Like, or what do you think is your favorite holiday light show? Let us know in the comments. If you want to hear the track, you got to become a patron of Symphonic Wanderlust, a Syna So Pro experience where you have 6 different tiers to choose from, ranging from $5 to $100. So take a look at the tiers and choose the best tier that works for you. And you can take a look at the tiers by clicking on Symphonic Wanderlust or Patreon from our link tree. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to Symphonic Wanderlust, a Syna So Pro experience. Your support is always appreciated. Because of your subscription, we're able to get better hardware, software along our musical journey. So yeah, we can't do this without you all, for real. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Hit that notification bell. And follow us on social media with our handle, Syna So Pro. Feel free to send us a message. Be like, what's up? We'd be like, what's up? And, okay, so, but really quick, before we let y'all go, it has been announced through Metro Theater Company that we will be acting as a musician as well as a couple small roles in the upcoming production Spells of the Sea. So please check it out. This is actually a new play written by a young and very talented playwright and composer. So come through and support it. It's really beautiful. It's really magical. It's very adventurous. It's very imaginative, and it's fun. Anyway, this is all that we have for you today. Much love to you. Peace.